which is okay. We're not picky that way. Give it a few more minutes. Nora's here. Well, it's 7:31, so let's welcome Phil Angel joining us here with his guitar for Havdallah with Temple Sholom. Phil, it's great to have you. What do you have for us tonight?
ליהודי הטהורה, הטהורה, ושמחה וששון ביקר. ליהודי הטהורה, הטהורה, ושמחה וששון ביקר. כן תהיה לנו, תהיה לנו, תהיה ליהודי הטהורה, הטהורה, ושמחה וששון ביקר.
Thank you, Phil. That was lovely. That's Noam Katz's La Yehudim. Noam performed at Temple Shalom about 10 years ago, a little bit more maybe, before I got here. But he's a good friend, a very talented Jewish educator out of Toronto. And he hasn't produced any music in a while, I don't think. But that's one of my favorites. So, hi, guys. It's good to see you all. I was wondering if we were going to get any kids or if it's just going to be us old folks. By that, I include myself. I'm about to turn 50 in a week or two. So one of my favorite stories, I know I share that all the time, and I might have shared this one before, I'm not sure. In fact, I think I might have. Did I tell the story about the mountain and the cliff? Does that ring a bell to anyone? Yes, no? Who knows? Okay. If you don't remember, then it's new to you regardless. So there was once a father and a son. And this father sold things. He sold all manners of things out of his wagon. He sold string, and he sold jars of pickles, and he sold wood. He was kind of the Seth Rogen of his day, I guess, an American pickle. But he couldn't sell any of them in his own village because there weren't that many people in his village. So once a month, he would load up his wagon, and he would head out of his village, out of his house, and down the street, and over a small bridge, and then up a mountain road to the other side of the mountain where there was a village and a marketplace. And the tricky thing about this mountain was that, like most mountains, there was a mountain on one side and a valley on the other. And this was the only way in and out of their village. I think I drove through places like this on my RV trip. Well, every month when he would do this, his son begged and begged to go with him because there was not much to do in his village. And there was so many exciting things to see in the marketplace in the other village over on the other side of the mountain. And so every month when it was time to go, he would take his son on this trip, and he looked forward to it so much. Well, it happened that this one time they left the house, they loaded up the wagon with all of the manner of things, the rope and the pickle jars and the wood and the pots and pans and the candles they had made and everything they had. And they went up the mountaintop, and as they came around a curve, there was a giant boulder in the middle of the road. And there was no way that they could get around that boulder on their wagon. The horses would have fallen off into the valley below, and they certainly couldn't go over it, couldn't go under it, couldn't go around it. Sounds like a different song or story. And so the father turned to his son and said, "We're going to have to turn around and go back. We can't go to the market this month." And the boy started to cry. His father said, "Don't cry. This is just what happens." He says, "No, we have to go. We have to go." And the father said to the boy, "Well, what can you do?" And the boy thought about it, and he got out of the wagon. He started to push on the boulder, and he pushed and he pushed and he pushed, and nothing happened. The boulder didn't move. It was way too big. So he came back to the father and he said, "I guess, Dad, we're going to have to go home because I can't push the boulder out of the way. I've done everything that I can." And the father turned to his son and says, "Really, have you? Have you done everything possible? Have you tried everything that you could?" The boy thought about it and remembered that they had some rope in the wagon. And so he went and he got the rope and he tied it around the boulder and he pulled and pulled and pulled on the rope, hoping to move the boulder. But the boulder didn't move. Put the rope back in the wagon, went back to his father and said, "I guess we really do have to go home because I pushed on it, it wouldn't move. I pulled with it on a rope, it wouldn't move. What are we going to do?" And the father said, "Did you try everything you could? Did you try everything possible?" The boy thought about it, and then he remembered they had these big, long, heavy boards. And so he went and got one of the big, long, heavy boards, and he wedged it underneath the boulder, and he pushed up on the board to try to leverage it off the side of the cliff, try to leverage it over. It wouldn't budge. Put the board back in the wagon. Now he was in complete tears and tired and sweaty and schwitzing like you wouldn't believe. And he went back to his father. And he said, "Dad, we're going to have to go home. I give up. I pushed on it. I pulled on it with a rope. I tried to move it with a board. There's nothing else to try. There's nothing else I could do." And the father said, "You forgot one thing. There's one more thing you could have done." And the boy thought about it. Rope and boards and pushing. It couldn't have been the pickles. What could I have done, Dad? He said, "You could have asked me to help you." And so together, the father and the son got the rope and the board and even the pickles. And they pushed and they pulled and they moved that boulder out of the way. And they traveled on to the other village to sell their things. And from that time forward, the son always remembered that the most important thing that you can do when you can't do something is ask for help. If you've heard that before, you didn't recognize it, I guess. So now I can't use it again. So we've got our Havdallah candle. Do you have your Havdallah candle? And we've got our bisamim, our sweet spices. And we have our Kiddush cup, which I have to fill up 1 second here. Now we have our Kiddush cup. So I will light the candle and Phil will begin.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen lai lai la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Yai lai ya la 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 lai 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 ya la 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 lai lai ya la la lai 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 ya lai 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 ya lai lai Yai lai ya la 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 lai 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 ya la 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 lai lai ya la la lai 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 ya lai 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 ya lai lai
Mavdil ben kodesh achol hatotenu imcho zarenu v'chaspenu yarbecha chol v'chochavim v'layla.
Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, make the week of peace, may gladness ring and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace, may gladness ring and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Imhera v'yamenu, Yaho Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David.
Shavua Tov, everyone. So great to see you all.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov. Just a couple of quick announcements from the synagogue. We are hoping to continue our outdoor services if the weather continues to or starts to cooperate, and our outdoor concerts. So please join us for those in the backyard of the synagogue on Thursdays for our seniors, and after Labor Day weekend, we'll continue with our Friday night outdoor services for as long as the weather will permit. So that'll make those 7 o'clock services for the time being, probably through hopefully October, with a few holidays interrupting there. Hopefully you saw the email that went out from the congregation about our high holiday plans, at least just a teaser about it. And we will be sending an email probably Tuesday of this week with a full schedule, at least of what we know so far of all that we have planned. Lots of different ways to connect, and particularly for our young families that are on our Zoom, our plan is to have some in-person children's services during the High Holy Days at Kitts Beach for children's service, and then Tashlif in groups of 40 or less. You'll sign up in advance. And on Yom Kippur Day in the afternoon, in the backyard of the synagogue, weather permitted. So all would be outdoors. All will be 40 people or less. We're also planning some tween services and teen services that'll be via Zoom during the holidays as well. And if you haven't seen it yet, we'll just share one more time because we're very proud of it, our commercial for the High Holy Days. So we hope you'll join us online, and for those few in-person things that are available. All of your favorite hits will be there. Chris Friedrichs is going to give the Rhoda Friedrichs Memorial Lecture. We'll have Torah readings and Haftorah readings. They'll be studying with Rabbi Brown. Rabbi and Kathy Bregman are leading the healing service. Joyce and I'm blanking on his name right now. Not Trevor. Joyce will be doing the meditation service, and his last name. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but I don't remember it. We'll be leading the meditation service and lots of other elements as well. So I hope you'll join us for that. Any questions about anything while I'm here? Okay. Shavua Tov, everyone. Debbie, it's great to see you. Really great to see you. Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov. Shavua Tov all, and be well.
Hey, Sean. I can recognize you even in your bicycle kit. And with a different name. Who is Hayden Mellowship?
Oh, it's a different Zoom account
Okay.
from PM Volunteers.
Got it.
And it gives me more time.
Got it.
Shavua Tov, Rabbi.
Shavua Tov. Take care, everyone.